Welcome to the Optimized Health Podcast. I'm glad you're here. This is episode 7, and today we're talking about something that goes way beyond calories: how to eat to actually improve your metabolic health, not wreck it. If you've ever been confused by all the conflicting diet advice, low carb, keto, fasting, tracking macros, you're not alone. But the truth is, the best diet is the one that supports metabolic health long term. Most guys think weight loss is just about eating less, but if your metabolism is broken, eating less doesn't fix the problem, it just makes it worse. Food is more than fuel, it's a hormonal signal. We talked about insulin in another episode, and insulin spikes whenever you eat carbohydrates. And so whenever you eat carbohydrates and the insulin spikes, then that chronic high insulin tells your body to store fat more easily. And you get into more fat storage, you have low energy and increased hunger. And the more you do that, the more you're telling your body to hold on to fat. Dr. Benjamin Bickman says, control carbohydrates, prioritize protein, and don't fear healthy fats. You don't need to go zero carb or keto, but most men just eat way too many processed carbohydrates and sugars. And my advice would be to prioritize whole, high fiber foods when you do eat them. Things like beans, quinoa, vegetables all have carbohydrates, but they also have other vitamins, minerals, proteins, and fibers to help keep you full and to decrease the chances of you having an insulin spike. Protein is your most important macronutrient because it helps you with your metabolism and it helps you with muscle maintenance, as well as keeping you satiated or full. And then it also has a higher thermic effect of food, which means that it's more expensive for your body to metabolize protein. Another thing that you want to include is healthy fats like olive oil, avocados, nuts, and seeds. These are things that are going to keep you full, give you energy, and then keep your insulin levels low, because fats have the lowest, if any, minimal effect on insulin spike. So you definitely want to include those in your diet. They're important for hormone regulation like testosterone and estrogen, and a balance between those because they're building blocks for hormones. And the third thing is meal frequency matters, in that when you're frequently eating, you're constantly spiking that insulin, and then you're shifting yourself out of fat burning mode and into fat storage mode. So you definitely want to keep that insulin level low throughout the day. That way your energy levels stay more or less stable. I've talked about time-restricted eating or intermittent fasting, in that most people could start off with a 12-hour fast. You might be doing that already, where you don't eat or drink any calories for a 12-hour time period. One mistake I see some people make is that they are eating during their fasting period. That kind of negates the effect of the fasting. So you definitely want to avoid anything with calories during the fasting period. Just water and tea is the safest thing to give your body a break from the insulin spikes during the fasting. That's why it's important to space out your meals in that way, because during the fasting period, your insulin levels drop. That shifts your body more into fat burning mode. The fourth thing you want to focus on is blood sugar stability. One thing you want to keep in mind is you keep your meals super simple. And a simple formula I can give you is protein, fat, and fiber. And that's going to be the best combination for you to feel full, support muscle, metabolism, and make sure that you're able to make your blood sugar stable as possible, because it's not going to be causing a crash and such a fluctuation in your levels of your blood sugar and your insulin. One thing you can do is use a CGM or a glucometer. And because we know high or low blood sugar swings can cause hunger, fatigue, and fat storage. And so keeping that blood sugar as stable as possible is really important to make sure that your energy level throughout the day stays good and you're not telling your body to hold on to fat. The fifth thing we look into is nutrient deficiencies. Magnesium, zinc, B vitamins, and vitamin D all play a key role in insulin sensitivity and hormone function, even on clean diets, because you need those micronutrients in order for you to be able to keep your insulin levels steady and your hormone function. If you don't have enough of those micronutrients available in your body, then you won't be able to support your metabolism. So I encourage a food-first approach, meaning that you get all of your vitamins and minerals and macronutrients from food, and then you supplement when necessary. because supplements aren't going to have the cofactors and the vitamins in such a way naturally in food, and it's not going to function the same way, but it can help to fill in those gaps. The next thing is hydration and electrolytes. Most guys underhydrate or drink sugary beverages, but really all you need is water, salt, and minerals, especially when fasting or low carb, because you're more prone to getting dehydrated. You want to be careful with too many electrolytes, especially sodium, because if you're hypertensive, high blood pressure, or you have kidney problems, or you've had a history of low or high sodium levels, you definitely want to make sure you consult with a doctor, because any fluctuations in those with the incorporation of extra electrolytes might throw you into a situation where you get sick and you go to the hospital. So definitely watch out for that. But if you're an athlete, relatively healthy, you don't have any medical conditions, then you can safely experiment with some electrolytes. But once again, always consult with a professional. Hydration supports mitochondrial and metabolic function. And so that's why it's really important to make sure that you're adequately hydrated. For most people, half your body weight in ounces is a good start. If you're somebody that has a hard time getting enough water, then getting a giant jug of water, giant container of water to bring around with you really helps a lot. And if that's still difficult for you, put in some no sugar electrolytes. Just make sure it doesn't have any sugar in it, and it has a sweetener that does not spike your insulin or your blood sugar, because that's going to take you out of that fasting period. The only sweeteners that I recommend are monk fruit and stevia. The reason why is because those are not shown to increase the insulin levels or spike your insulin levels or affect your sugar at all. So you definitely can incorporate some of that into your food or drinks. Some quick wins and action steps: build meals around protein, not carbs. Eliminate processed snacks and sugary drinks. Try a 12-hour overnight fast. Work your way up. Get labs for fasting insulin, vitamin D, and magnesium. And then track energy and hunger, not just a scale. A lot of people that I see get obsessed over the scale and the number. It's just a number at the end of the day. Some things you can track instead are energy levels, hunger, your sleep quality, your waist size, your hip size, the way your clothes fit, the way you feel subjectively. These are all things that you can track just to be able to have something to gauge in order for you to see if you need to adjust anything. Because if you focus on the scale only, then you can easily get discouraged, because a lot of times how you feel mentally, physically doesn't always correlate with the scale. So just keep that in mind. If you've been feeling stuck or like your body isn't responding, don't just cut calories. Start by fixing your metabolism first, because once that's working, fat loss becomes way easier. If you want a personalized plan based on your labs and your lifestyle, I help men optimize their metabolism with my 16-week program. Hit the link in the description for a free consultation. Thanks for tuning into the Optimize Health podcast. Keep it simple, transform your health, optimize your life. Peace.